could read it more than 10 times. And yeah, well, actually, like, I haven't yet, but I could do that because each chapter, the little prince learned a lot, and he taught me a lot as well.
Cute.
So cute, right? It's a Korean version.
Aw. I was like actually really shocked by this book
Right.
because
So, was it the first time reading The Little Prince, or have you read it before?
it was the first time. Hold on, let me get my notes up too.
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay, perfect. There we go. Yeah, did you read it when you were younger, or was this your first time as well?
It was my first time.
Because I always thought, I mean, it kind of is, but I always mainly thought that it was like a really big, like, children's book.
That's right.
And like, I guess it is, but I also found myself kind of like relating to it a little bit more than I thought I would. I guess I was kind of shocked by it.
Right.
What did you
Mhm.
think?
Yeah, it's really true. Well, I think the first thing that I thought is I could read it more than 10 times. And yeah, well, actually, like, I haven't yet, but I could do that because each chapter, the little prince learned a lot, and he taught me a lot as well. And also, I thought after finishing this book, I thought it was a kind of like a philosophical book,
Yeah.
It's very warming and kind and very nice. And also, when we see the world through child's eyes, there are so many wonderful experiences to be found.
Mm.
And the little prince told me about that.
Yeah, for me, I think like the biggest theme that like I resonated with was like childhood innocence
That's
and the
true.
difference between like seeing the world as like a child versus an adult.
Right.
Because it really reminded me of like this piece of like information that I learned like years ago about when you're a kid, you see the world as like so colorful and different. But then when you're an adult, everything is like a little bit more gray.
Oh, to me.
And like there's actually like a scientific reason for that though.
Oh.
Because when you're a kid, the colors in your eyes, they're more that your eyes are more sensitive, so you see color more. But then when you grow up, your eyes become used to that light, So then that's why everything looks more grey and is like dull. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. And honestly, it was so weird because when I was in Taiwan, everything was so colourful, and all I could think about was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I have like my childhood eyes back.
Oh, so true.
But yeah, I
I
guess it's,
totally agree with you.
yeah, and it's like, it was so refreshing to like, because obviously when you're reading it, for me, it was like really refreshing to like have that sense of like childhood back, and you realize like how pessimistic and like depressing you can be as like an adult.
Right, right. I think like, others, they overlook what they have, and
Mm,
also they just only focus what they don't have.
yeah.
Me either too, sometimes.
And especially like when he goes to each of the planets and then
Mm-hmm.
he encounters like a different kind of like issue with like humanity and like people themselves.
That's true.
I wrote this quote down that I was like, I read it and I was like, oh my God. He was like, all grown-ups were once children, but only few of them remember it. Yeah, and I guess it's just like forgetting about things that like are important to you,
Yeah,
like when you reach like adulthood, and like you forget about like what matters.
right. Like, you know, so um it was very impressed for me, like the fox and the little prince talked a lot. And the
Mm.
fox and talked like the word the tame, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when we thought about like the building in a communication or building in a relationship with others, and it's really is important, very something like the time and effort, and so I just want to ask about like so the word tame. So after finishing this book, what about what do you think about like the word tame, and also what is important for you, like the building in a relationship with others?
I think like I don't know, because it was very interesting to hear the word like tame being used to describe like getting to know someone and like communication and relationships, because obviously it's a fox, so he had to have been like tamed. I don't know, I kind of like how it had like that double meaning. Um, I guess the whole thing of like the fox is like it teaches him like the importance of like communication and like building like a meaningful relationship. I don't know, I think it was for me, it was just really interesting to hear the word like tame be used to describe like relationships like that. And I guess how the connection between them kind of like
Mm,
required, I guess, like a sense of responsibility.
right.
I don't know, what
Mm,
did you think about the taming?
mm. Well, actually, like before reading this book, I really hate the word tame because I thought, like, in my mind, I thought the word tame is the thing that some people persuade someone to the way that they want.
Yeah, true.
It seems like a compelling or kind of like the force them like to do the way that they want. So that's why I hate this word.
If anything, actually, you've just reminded me that when I used to read like loads of Victorian novels,
Um,
tame would kind of be used to describe like women, and how in order to get women to like act right, you have to like tame them.
oh, really?
Yeah, but that's so interesting because I didn't think of it. Like, I totally agree with you, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of it in that way. I kind of got the taming as kind of like getting to know someone, and
Yep.
then once you've kind of like tamed them and like
Yes.
gotten to know them, it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're special to you forever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really interesting because now I agree with you, and I'm like, oh, is it about like molding that person to fit how you want them to fit?
Mm-hmm. But
Mm,
like after finishing this book, I thought about like in a different way because like in a good way, because like tame is mean like teach someone, like give the insight or like expand someone's word like to the new word. So I think sometimes like we can like give a great lesson or takeaways to someone, and that would be one of the way tame, I thought.
But
Because
do you think,
Mhm.
sorry, go on.
No, it's okay.
I was just going to say, like, if you're taming someone, do you think the relationship is equal? Or do you think someone always has to be in like the position of power?
I think it's equal because I think the tame, but at the same time, is more meaning of like the shared ideas and thought.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it was quite like philosophical actually.
And also we just want to try to the exact answer, but it's not the exact, but everyone has a different value. But I knew understand that, but we just like share and like thought and feeling through our word, and then you know, the only goal is to expand our thought, because when we were young we cannot understand like someone's behaviors or attitude, but as we grow up and how to say like our understanding is more bigger and bigger, you know. So I thought tame is one of the way that we can expand like our word.
Let me try and find. There was a. You've just reminded me of. Is that it? Yeah, there's a. He says, if you want a friend, tame me. Which is kind of like, I guess in that meaning, it's kind of like if you want to have someone as a friend, it takes like effort.
Yes.
And like you both have to be like wanting to like trust each other and like put in that effort over time.
I think like when we like searched the word tame, like if the word like is used as a verb, like for example, she made strenuous effort to tame her anger. So tame her anger mean like, I think as another, we can control our feelings and emotion. So in this sense, like I think I saw the word tame in a good way.
Yeah. I think if it wasn't being used for like an animal,
Right.
and it's like
Usually, right?
yeah, because I think it's more in the sense of like domesticate
Yes.
instead of like control. Like teach me, show me, and then we're like,
And then, so what is your most important thing like building in a relationship?
trust.
Oh, how do we trust each other?
Yeah, like whether it be like with friends or yeah, also like communication too. What about you?
Well, I think, yeah, trust is really important, I thought, and also time and effort. So we spend our time and effort, you know, like to someone that we want. And also, yeah, trust is really important. I think it's one of the priority. And also in this sense, like the page 47, like uh that sentence is like, it would have been better to come back at the same hour, said the fox. And if, for example, you come at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, then at 3 o'clock, I shall begin to be happy. I shall feel happier and happier as the hour advances. At 4 o'clock, I shall already be worrying and jumping about. I shall show you how happy I am. But if you come at just any time, I shall never know at what hour my heart is to be ready to greet you. One must observe the proper rites.
How is this like marketed as like a children's book? Because The Little Prince everyone, like, I think in like the UK, everyone's heard of it, but no one reads it.
Me either.
Yeah, like, is it popular in Korea?
True. Well, actually, I think is it popular? Well, actually, everyone knows the title, but they haven't read it yet.
Right, in Busan is,
Busan?
yeah, what's the village? Gamcheon Culture Village?
Oh,
Is
yes.
that the one? Am I wrong? Is that like Little
No.
Prince themed?
Yeah, I think so.
And they have the like, yes,
부산.
because they have the fox and you can go and take a picture of it.
Yeah, right. 부산 문화마을제천, I think.
Yeah, wait, Gamcheon Culture Village, the Little Prince. Yes, you can go and take a picture of the Little Prince
아, 감천마을.
with the fox. Yes.
감천 Village. I see, I see, I see.
Yeah, because I remember like seeing that and thinking like, oh, this is really cute. I didn't know the Little Prince was like popular here.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I went there like I didn't know when, but I went there, but I forgot about that. Oh my goodness. 감천 Culture Village.
Yes, because oh, that makes sense now. There's also like a wall and it has loads of planets on.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
but at that time, like I didn't know why the Little Prince and the Fox were there. There's only photo zone. Everyone say, "Oh, here's a photo zone." Okay, like take a
Okay,
picture.
I'll
Yeah,
stand in a queue, take a
yes,
picture
right.
of this.
Just
That's what I
take a
mean. Like,
picture.
I didn't care because I was like, I've
Right.
never read it.
Why is the fox were there? I was curious about like at that time, but oh, they were friends, right?
I think as well, like the bit in the book that I liked the most was when, oh, what is it that he sees on Earth? He sees like, was it the volcano and like the flowers or something?
Flowers, maybe
Yeah,
flowers.
and then he was like, oh my gosh, well, on my planet, which I thought was like the most beautiful and like the best one ever, there's only like two flowers or something, or
Yeah.
one something like that. And then he goes into like this state of like crisis and thinking that
Mhm.
like it kind of tears apart like what he knows to be like the
Mhm.
most amazing thing to him, and then how you
Mhm.
realize that you go somewhere else
Mhm.
and your world is like so small, literally.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, like the ending was so sad though.
Mm.